Now, Jamie, Arsenal are favourites for not just the Premier League, but for the Champions League as well. Why?
That's outrageous. That honestly, that is outrageous. To make them favourites for the Premier League and the Champions League, that makes them they're favourites to do the double. Arsenal. How can that make sense? They've not won the Premier League since 2004, and they've never won the Champions League. Do not tell me they're favourites for the Champions League. They're a good side, Arsenal, and they're playing some decent football. They're strong at the back, and they've improved the bench. But they ain't won nothing. That's what people need to understand. They haven't won. They haven't got it over the line. Real Madrid have won the Champions League, 14 times? Don't tell me Arsenal are the favourites because they look like they've got a good team. Living in cuckoo land. And the Premier League, they've won it since 2004.
Surely your gripe isn't with Arsenal fans, though. It's with the odds, because these are the bookies' favourites. Arsenal didn't make themselves. By the way, there's a fan called Graham, a Liverpool fan, says he believes that if Odegaard stays fit and has a solid season, Arsenal win the league. That's a Liverpool fan. I mean, there's no proof he's a Liverpool fan. He hasn't said himself a Liverpool shit. You know what I mean?
He's that Graham from Hertfordshire. Look, Arsenal are a good side. They're a really good side, and they've improved the squad. They've signed players. They've filled holes that they needed to fill. They've got a target man in Gyokeres. They look good defensively. They do. But when it comes to the crunch, when it comes to the business end of the season, the championship rounds, I don't see them winning, because I've watched them enough over the last 5 or 6 seasons with Arteta in charge. They crumble. It's as simple as that. Man City don't. Man City, when they're fighting it out, when they've won the Premier League 4 years on the bounce, they know how to win. They keep winning when it matters. Liverpool done the same. Arsenal don't. So how can you make them favourites because they've got a decent squad? Come on, do me a favour.
Jamie Ho, 26 minutes in before we had our first do me a favour. In terms of the strength and depth you're talking about, because, by the way, we're going to be talking about David Raya in the next hour, asking if he is the best goalkeeper in the Premier League right now. That's a poll on our X account, so you can go and vote on that right now. We'll discuss it in the next hour. But in terms of players like Eze coming in, Madueke coming in, has that got the best out of Martinelli and Odegaard and others? What's it like when someone comes in your position?
Yeah, you've got to up your game. Simple as. You can't... You've got to improve every season, and top football clubs will always look to invest in decent players, and the players have to be better. I thought Martinelli was probably a bit poor from the standard that I think he's at last season. And he's up that this season. He's shown that he's got his sort of fire back in his belly. Odegaard as well was, again, I didn't think was great last season, but he looks good. He's a top player. So of course, look, you want to be starting for Arsenal. These players, are top players, and you don't want to be sat on the bench. And, when a new player comes in, you're going to sit there and always believe that you're better than that player. Whether you are or not is, down to opinion, down to the manager. But, at the end of the day, you are going to believe that I'm better than him, and I'm going to show the manager that I should be playing. So what that does then give you is a new energy that you might not have had last season, because you were a bit comfy, because you knew regardless whether you played well or not, you're still going to play. But now they can't have that, because Arsenal have got a good squad of players, and if you don't perform, you'll be out of the team.
Are you seeing signs now that Arsenal are getting used to having an out-and-out number 9 in Victor Gyokeres? Because they have in the past not necessarily had that.
Yeah, what I've noticed with Arsenal now is it's a bit like Manchester City when Haaland first signed. They were so used to going around the sides, Man City, and moving it and coming back and going around the other side. When Haaland come in, he was like, feed me, give me the ball, put me in. And I feel like they're doing that a little bit more. We saw last night with the goal. It's not going out wide. Normally they're feeding it out to Saka. Saka's coming in, putting delightful balls in. Now it's, can we get Gyokeres in? Can we put him in behind? Can we get him involved in the game quicker? So that's that takes time, and it is an adaptation of how you'd normally play. But he has definitely been a threat for them, and I can only see him getting better.
A message from Wayne there says, winning nothing isn't a factor. Jamie says, everyone has to start somewhere. Winning helps confidence, but nothing more. Is the fact that they do get close, do you start thinking, well, eventually they've got to get over the line, and that could be now?
It could be. I'm not saying that they can't.
You're saying they shouldn't be favourites?
But they're not favourites. Arsenal a good side, but winning's everything. And getting it over the line when it matters is everything. That's why Liverpool have got all these trophies. That's why Manchester City have dominated with Pep Guardiola. Because when it matters, they win. Arsenal are a really good side, and they look easy on the eye. Defensively, they're great. They ain't won nothing. They didn't win nothing last season. How can you be favourites if you don't win nothing?
Gabby, 2 goals, 2 games, 2 goals, Champions League. Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, you said everything. It's a dream for me. I always try to give my best to help the team and to live moments like that, you know. And yeah, as you said, fantastic. And yeah, really happy with the goals and the victories.
What was it like to start again, having been substituted a few times?
Yeah, I mean, I want to play. I want to start every single game. And as I said, I'm gonna help the team as much as possible. The manager is the one that takes the decision. We have to respect them. And when I have the opportunity, I always try to give my best.
And what do you think of the game? It was 2-0, clean sheet, but could it have been more?
Yeah, of course. We had some chances in the first half. We could have scored, but we didn't. But we managed to not concede and to score another one in the second half. They've got a really good side with really good players as well. And yeah, as you said, we won the game. We managed to win and not concede. So yeah, really happy.
Do you feel a bit unbeatable at home in Europe? Because it's a long time since you lost a game now.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to win the big trophies, you have to win at home and not concede goals, and we've been doing really well this part.
Well, one player he's still finding his feet for you is Victor. He's obviously scored 3 goals. Is there anything you can say to him to be patient? Because obviously he had a few chances tonight and played a part in your goal. But how important is it for him to be patient? And do you believe the goals will really come? Lots of goals for him.
Yeah, I mean he's been scoring some goals as well. We are really happy with him. We trust him. We know his qualities, and he's one of the top strikers in the world right now. So yeah, as I said, we trust him, and we are trying to give him the confidence to score and to do his best on the pitch to help us.
Would you still expect that he'll probably score over 20 goals this season? I mean, he's that sort of player, isn't he?
Yeah.
Hope for him to do that sort of amount.
Yeah, of course. He's great. We trust him, and as much as possible we are going to give him the ball to score.
Have you seen as well, we saw a bit tonight that Martin and Victor feel like they've got a bit of an understanding? I know they haven't played much together, but was that encouraging seeing the way those two in particular linked up?
Yeah, I mean, it's really good to play with Martin there, because he's always trying to find you when we make the movement. And for Victor as well, his qualities as well, he likes to go in behind and attack the opposite box. So I think him playing with Martin as well is going to be good for him. And yeah, as I said, we are going to try to give him the ball as much as possible to make him score, I don't know, 30, 40 goals a season.
Do you feel that the team now, all of you, have got maybe that little extra edge compared to last season, and you are now ready to really sort of win something?
Yeah, I mean, we play for Arsenal. Every tournament and thing that we go to win. Every game that we're playing for, we want to win, and of course we want to win the big trophies. And this is what we've been working for.
Does the kind of hurt from the last few seasons give you, does it drive you?
Yeah, of course, it has to hurt, because we want to win, and the club that we play for, it's massive, and the club deserves to win. So we are gonna keep trying our best to win.
What do you think will make this season different then, Gabby?
Yeah, I mean, just try to learn from the past 3 seasons, and with the signings that we brought in. So we've got a huge squad now, so let's try to use the squad, and because it's a long season, everyone knows it, and sometimes we have injuries, and with a big squad we have more opportunities to win the game. So
those summer signings lifted the place. We saw a bit of training yesterday. There's a real good vibe in the camp. Has it lifted the spirits of everyone that you've added so many top quality players?
Yeah, I mean, it's always been great with great players and persons as well, and with the boys that came in now, it's the same, even more. They want to win as well. They are winners. So yeah, as I said about Victor, the boys want to win as well, and to help as much as possible.
Last two questions.
I was just going to say that you've had actually very bad injuries already this season to a number of top players, but it doesn't seem to have hurt you as much. Is that a fair comment, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, we play for Arsenal. We have to use every single one that is available, you know. So if someone gets injured, we're gonna try to use someone else. So this is why we have a huge squad right now. So
In terms of huge squad, how did you feel when you see that Madueke comes, very Ezeke? How much of a challenge for you, and how do you sort of take that as a player? Because obviously that means that you're going to have to fight even more for your place.
yeah, I mean, I feel good, you know. It's the same in the national team for me, you know. I'm not gonna complain to have Vini and Rodrigo and Rafinha playing with me, you know. So I'm really happy to have them there and happy to have the players that we have here as well.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thanks. Cheers. Thanks.
Mikhail, congratulations, a win out there. What are your thoughts?
Well, very happy, obviously, with the win and the clean sheet against, as we predicted, a very tough opponent. I think we started the game very, very good. Scored the goal, had some big chances that in the Champions League, you don't put them away. After you go into suffer, and then we had a period in the game, we became a little bit open. We needed a big save from David in one action to keep the clean sheet. But overall, after 3 days and the game that we had to play in Newcastle, credit to the boys the way we performed.
Is that something that you might take from this game in terms of reassess, and how do you work on it in terms of, you mentioned there, closing the chances and the opportunities that you get, especially maybe latter parts of this competition?
Yes, because we know that it's all about the boxes. Their team, they don't need much, and they arrived 3 or 4 times and they looked a real threat. So when you have those big chances, you have to put them in the net. If not, like we had in the last 10 minutes, we had to dig in very, very deep to control them, and at the end to earn the right to win the game.
Well, look, it's 14 home games that you've now won here at the Emirates in the league phase of this Champions League stage, and kept 11 clean sheets on the way. Is that progress? It must be music to your ears.
Well, that's very difficult to do, so credit to the boys. The consistency we show in this competition against very tough opponents, and we go again on Saturday.
Martin Odegaard looked a man on a mission tonight. He almost looked back to his best out there. Would you agree?
Yeah, he was phenomenal. I think he influenced the game in a manner that is very important with us, because he continued to play forward, carrying the ball, putting people through on goal, and generated some big chances for his teammates. He should have scored a goal as well in the big open chance that he'd had. So very good to have him back at this level.
Look, we know the narrative of the strength and depth that you've got, but do you find that your squad are actually thriving off this? They're stepping up to the mark.
They do, and they all know that they have a chance to play, to maybe make 6 changes, and I want everybody to be big part of that. The players came in as well to help when the team was still lacking a bit of rhythm and needed to re-energize. The client comes in, Neps, Bukayo, Mosquera, anybody that comes in, Jurian brings another dimension to the team. Great to see.
Big Gabby okay? He came off?
Yeah. He was struggling a little bit with, I think it was a kick in the first half, and we decided to take him off.
And then I'm sure your mind probably hasn't wandered to it yet, but West Ham at the weekend, that'll be your 300th game in charge of Arsenal. In this day and age, that's an achievement in itself.
I didn't know that. That's a lot of games for this football club. So, I feel very honoured, and a lot of gratitude for everybody that has allowed me to stay for that long. Yeah.
William Saliba opens up on Arsenal frustrations and his mission to win trophies. William Saliba has officially committed his long-term future to Arsenal, signing a new 5-year contract and turning down interest from European giants like Real Madrid. But for the French defender, this decision wasn't just about loyalty, it was about unfinished business. Speaking candidly about his journey so far with the Gunners, Saliba made it clear he's not satisfied yet. Despite his rising status as one of the Premier League's top centre-backs, he hasn't lifted the kind of silverware that truly defines a legacy. He, Trent Alexander-Arnold, won some titles with Liverpool, Saliba said, when asked why he stayed at Arsenal despite Real Madrid's interest. Me? I haven't won anything here yet. Just the Community Shield. That's not enough. I haven't done anything to feel like I should leave. I want to win trophies here. A lot of them. This level of honesty is rare and refreshing. Saliba's hunger reflects the mood of the squad and the expectations of the fans. And it's a mindset that manager Mikel Arteta deeply values. It's great news for the club, Arteta said of the contract extension. Willie deserves this. His impact on the team has been phenomenal. We're building something special, and he's a key part of that foundation. Saliba also confirmed he's now fully recovered from the ankle injury that briefly interrupted his season. As Arsenal prepares for their Champions League clash against Olympiacos, he's clear about what needs to happen next. The club's long trophy drought has to end. I've been here for 3 years, and every time we finish second, it stings, he admitted. You go on vacation, but you're not really celebrating. You're thinking about what could have been. It doesn't feel right. Saliba's frustration isn't only about missed trophies. His path to becoming a starter at Arsenal wasn't smooth. After signing from Saint-Étienne in 2019, he spent the better part of 2 years on loan, including a spell at Nice that, at the time, left him questioning everything. When I arrived in 2020, I didn't play for 6 months. Then I was loaned out. Of course, I had doubts. I wondered if I'd ever play for this club, he said. But I told myself I couldn't leave without trying. Even when I was training with the under-21s, I kept working. When they told me in December it was best to go on loan, I was angry. I needed to play. But I never gave up. I went, I played, I came back, and I proved I could start. I'm proud of that. It shows you should never quit. That resilience, the refusal to walk away even when the odds were stacked against him, has shaped the player and the man Saliba is today. It's also what makes his connection to the club feel so personal. His love for Arsenal started long before he ever wore the shirt. Growing up in France, it was Thierry Henry, a club legend and Saliba's childhood hero, who made Arsenal feel like home, even from afar. My first Arsenal jersey had Henry on the back, he recalled. He was incredible to watch. Being French and seeing someone like him at a club like Arsenal, it inspired me. I was young, but I remember watching clips, especially that Champions League final in 2006 against Barcelona. That stayed with me. Now, Saliba isn't just wearing the same colours as his idol, he's trying to carry on that legacy. His admiration for Henry became motivation. His loyalty to Arsenal is about more than a contract. It's about identity, pride, and ambition. Despite heavy links to top European clubs, including Real Madrid, Saliba insists he never seriously considered leaving. To be honest, I wasn't really focused on the outside interest, he said. I was focused on staying here. I knew I wanted to be part of this project for years to come. So I'm happy. I'm proud to sign a new contract and keep going. And he's not the only one feeling the pressure to deliver. Mikel Arteta knows that expectations have changed. From the moment I took the job, I knew I wanted to win big trophies here, Arteta said. That's the standard. That's the ambition. No one needs to remind us of that. It's what we expect from ourselves. Excuses have never been part of my mindset. As Arsenal prepares for another shot at glory, both domestically and in Europe, Saliba stands at the heart of it all, stronger, more determined, and more connected than ever to the club he now proudly calls home. Saliba's commitment arrives at a crucial time for Arsenal. After back-to-back seasons of falling just short in the Premier League title race, the pressure to finally convert progress into silverware is at an all-time high. His decision to stay signals not just belief in the project, but also a call for accountability, both from himself and his teammates. Inside the dressing room, his words have reportedly resonated. According to sources close to the squad, Saliba has emerged as a growing leader, not just through his performances, but in how he's approached the off-season, rehab, and now the new campaign. For a player still only 24 years old, it's a sign of maturity and ambition. The timing of his comments, ahead of a critical Champions League group stage opener, only heightens their impact. Arsenal's return to Europe's top competition last season ended in disappointment, exiting in the quarter-finals. Now, with a more seasoned squad and a stronger defensive core, there's an expectation that they'll go further. For Saliba, that means not only defending with discipline, but setting a tone of seriousness and hunger from the backline forward. Outside the club, his decision to reject Real Madrid has stirred conversation in both England and Spain. Some pundits have framed it as a rare example of a top young talent turning down the allure of Madrid in favour of loyalty and unfinished work. Others see it as a signal that Arsenal, once again, is a destination club, capable of retaining elite talent in their prime, not just developing it. That kind of perception shift matters, particularly as the Gunners continue to compete for high-profile signings and work to maintain the progress made under Mikel Arteta. In many ways, Saliba's choice reinforces the club's vision, a young, competitive core built for sustained success, not short-term fixes. Still, Questions remain. Can Arsenal handle the pressure of being favourites? Can they manage the physical and mental demands of chasing a title across multiple fronts? And how much longer will players like Saliba remain patient if the club doesn't deliver the trophies they now publicly crave? For Saliba, at least, the answer is simple. He's staying because he believes it can happen, and that it should happen. I came back, and I've started almost every game since. I've seen the growth of this team up close. I know what we're capable of, he said. But we have to prove it. Talking isn't enough. As the season unfolds, all eyes will be on how Saliba and Arsenal respond to that challenge. For now, though, the message is clear. The club's defensive anchor is not just here to stay, he's here to win.